Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining me. This is Tara Lee Live, and I have some amazing guests in the house tonight. But first, I am going to welcome DK Trades tonight. He is helping me out, and he's going to be on my panels. DK, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell people about yourself.
Hello, everybody. I go by DK Trades on Cannabis. I'm Drake KO4 on Instagram, and I'm just pretty small-time ACMPR grower down in Canada and British Columbia. And I'm excited to just help spread the word of cannabis.
Sweet.
Awesome. Thanks, DK. So, hey, before we get started here, make sure you guys have it up on live chat, not top chat. If you want to hang out and chat with us tonight on live, we'll take any questions you got. Also, make sure to like and hit that subscribe button so you can see and hang out with us live because, hey, we have some amazing guests coming up. And I am going to let Carrie start off the show. And I'm going to let her introduce what we got going on. Carrie, welcome.
Hi, Tara Lee. Thank you for having us again.
Welcome.
I've got Kristen Floor with me tonight, and hopefully Stacy Thies will be back with us. We're here. We want to let everybody know we've got some upcoming shows where we're going to have families from who are currently affected by cannabis prohibition by having loved ones incarcerated on the show with us. We were going to have Tracy Glore Pike on tonight with us, as well as Craig Cecil calling in from FCI Terre Haute. But unfortunately, he's on lockdown and wasn't able to join us. His daughter Lauren will be with us on a future show with Craig, and as well as Tracy. She unfortunately got sick tonight. So tonight we're just gonna kind of talk about what we're gonna do coming up, and but we will reschedule that fairly soon here. And I'd like everyone to meet Kristen.
Hi, you guys. I'm Kristen Floor, and I'm going to be helping with the show. We're going to be doing some interviews with some prisoners who are in prison for cannabis and also some of their family members, because it's really, really important where we come from, that we don't forget where we came from and where our voices came from. And specifically where I got my voice is from the prisoners. So I would like to tell you guys a little bit more about that in the future. But my father, I'll just briefly let you know, my dad died in prison, so my heart's with the prisoners now. And he died in prison for weed, so my heart is with our plant prisoners. So I will be here to help out, and I can't wait to talk to you guys. Like they were talking a little bit about Craig not being able to call in. We had a whole show planned out, but we weren't able to do it because, well, Tracy's sick, and also Craig, who was serving a life sentence and got his sentence reduced. I think it's down to 29 years now. He was unable to call because the prison that he's in is on lockdown. And like Carrie said, he's on lockdown, but let's say a little bit about that. That means that he can't use the phone. That means that he has to stay in a cell. That means he's basically on solitary confinement for who knows when. It starts today and who knows how long. So just everybody keep Craig in your heart. I do want to mention we are all volunteers for a group called Freedom Grow, who believe that nobody should go to jail for a plant. And we raise commissary, and for Valentine's Day, we sent over 50 of our plant prisoners $100 each. So I want to put an image up. Tara's going to put it up soon. And it's just an image of what you can do to help with our newsletter. We send them a newsletter, and we're looking for inspirational quotes. So if you can contact me or Carrie or Stacy, all of us on this show, we can get that into the newsletter for the prisoners. And I am excited to be able to talk to you guys in the future. Thanks for listening.
When's that newsletter coming out with inspirational quotes that you're asking for, Kristen?
So we're going to do one every other month. So the next one is going to be February, March, April. It'll be out first week or two of April. It's directed to the plant prisoners, but everybody can read it. And if you want to be on our mailing list, we'll even send you one. And we usually have
Awesome.
Stacy
Thank you.
on.
Thank you, Kristen. Give me just a minute. I'm getting ready to pull that up for you. Thank you
Okay,
so much for joining.
while you're doing that, I also want to mention we also got another person helping with the show. Her name is Stacy Tice, and she's just jumped off. We don't know. I think she lost her reception. So I'll speak on Stacy's behalf. She has a big green cannabis.
Oh, nope, she's back. Stacy just
Oh.
joined. She's back here.
Oh, yay.
Wow.
There
Well,
she is.
Tice. Yes.
But before that, here is the share for you. You should
Cool,
see it right now. Can you see it now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You guys
Go ahead and mention that again.
Okay, so you guys, while we're sharing this, I want to say this is a newsletter request. We're making a newsletter for 2020 April newsletter, and we want your help. We're looking for inspirational quotes. It can be something you look up that somebody else wrote, or you can write your own, and something that will, and if you can't find a quote or don't want to do a quote, it can just be a message to them. And if you get them to us, we will get all submissions will go into our newsletter. And last time we held a contest to see like whoever put the most thought into their words, and the winner we chose is Amber Landreth, because she submitted 2 poems and they were really, really long and they were really, really, really good. So her father was in prison for the plant, and due to outreach and efforts, he was freed. So we just want to say congratulations to her for winning. And this next one is going to be a drawing, just because everybody deserves a chance. So we're going to do a drawing, and you can win a gift basket with Freedom Pro t-shirts and stickers and all kinds of good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Stacy, welcome back. Carrie, did you want to tell a little bit about Stacy? Or did you want just Stacy to go right in? I was gonna let
Stacy go right in. Okay. She can tell it best.
Oh, I don't know. I'd rather you guys tell.
I started.
Oh, come on, Stacy.
I was being quiet. I was like, oh, I want to see what Kristen says about the bus.
I know. I had it all. You were gonna be like God when you came on.
Oh, we'll do it.
So you guys, Stacy is seriously like God. Okay, she drives a big green bus around the whole entire nation that she tries to end prohibition, all because her uncle was shot down by the federal government over 22 years ago. Her heart comes from this angelic like place. I don't know where it is, but somehow Stacy knows where it is, and she goes there all the time, and it's all over the bus like crazy. And she's starting this big huge thing with the bus where it's getting worked on, and she's going to drive it all around the nation again. And so she's going to tell you like where it's going to be and what you can do to help. She's currently trying to raise money for the bus. You can help donate to that. And she's going to be helping with these shows, interview future family members and people who are in prison for the plant and their family members. And yeah, this is Stacy Tice. She's it.
I love you, Kristen. I think you're it.
Thank you.
Kristen, like we got the bus in 2012, and then we did a Journey for Justice that Kristen was a huge part of, in February of 2013. And she was a constant reminder on why, like, you know, like, yeah, like why I do what I do, and a lot of where the passion comes from. Because after going to Oaksterdam University and like getting like all the knowledge and resources and tools that I needed to share the information about cannabis, I was also open by the Human Solution into court support. I met Stephanie Landa, who had been to federal prison. And then we were on this journey for justice. And Krista was grieving her dad's loss on the bus while I was watching my baby cousin re-grieve the loss of his dad. His dad was shot in front of his face over 12 plants when he was 4. So I was watching, you know, like while I was trying to, you know, doing my part to stay strong and keep the bus going, like I didn't have to worry about my cousin as much, because I do worry about my baby cousin, because him and Kristen had each other. And that really, like, holy fuck, like, it really resonated with me that you don't have to lose a family member to be like so torn up and so grieving and everything. Like, or you could lose a family member in prison. And so, like, when my Uncle Gary was shot, like, it was awful. And my baby cousin at 4 years old, he starved himself. Like his mom was just like trying to get him to eat for months. He quit talking and starved himself, trying because he wanted my Uncle Gary back. We all wanted my Uncle Gary back. And there was not a damn thing we could do about it. But then after going to Oaksterdam and meeting all these people, I learned, like, yeah, these people are having to suffer the same way that my family has suffered all these years. Like, they are literally grieving their loved ones every day over cannabis. And for my Uncle Gary, there was not a damn, like I said, there's not a damn thing we could have ever done to bring my Uncle Gary back. But holy shit, we just have to change a freaking law and make a decision and set all these people free and get them reunited with their families and take so much grieving and pain away. And like, it's set, like, to me, like, that passion comes from because Kristen lost her dad in prison. Like, we don't have every day. We don't have year after year. I mean, me and Kristen met, her dad died in prison in 2012. Me and her met in, like I said, February 2013. Like, we still have people's moms and dads in prison. Like, there's still people out there whose loved ones can be taken from them. Like, that could be their story. Their parents taken from them in the drug war, and then they never get to see them again. And that is so wrong. And I also know the power of love, and I know how beautiful and healing it's going to be, not only to all these people, but to us as like a planet, as a country, as everything. When that energy, when all those hugs happen and all those, that relief happens, and we support all these nonprofits like Freedom Grow and Parents for Pot and Can Do, all these nonprofits, Mission Green, that, their whole plan is to help us set our people free. And we all have dreams and goals of making sure that we can take care of them so they can be happy and share all that love energy, have nothing but good stuff and love energy when they get out, because that's what they deserve. I mean, jump on the cannabis when it's loaded with people that have been like, whose lives have been wrecked by cannabis prohibition, and you'll become passionate too. Like, it's wrong, and it's so hard to be patient when you know something's so easy and so just. I mean, it's justice to reunite these families already. And I'm just patiently waiting till that beautiful day comes. And, we get bits and pieces of it as, people get free. Like Crystal Munez, she just got free. We get little bits and pieces, but at the same time, we're still grieving that they just sent a man in Michigan to prison for 60 years for pot. Like, so it's all sad. So yeah, I use my big green cannabis to educate not only about the plant and the need to free her, but also to end prohibition and to free all of our people. And it is rewarding to learn that people do care, but things like the bus is needed, because a lot of people don't even know that people are still in life for pot.
And here's just a picture of the side of her bus. I wanted to share that with chat here. You can find that on the Freelance Score there if everybody wants to check it out. And it really is
a magical bus. I had the honor of seeing it before it was taken to the repair shop. And it was just a beautiful moment where I walked around the outside of the bus and looked at all the beautiful artwork. And you could literally feel the energy of just all the love that had been on that bus, and everybody's hearts and souls that had, all been touched and united on that bus. It was quite the magical, beautiful experience.
You guys, I want to say something. I was on the bus for 10 days, and
You're still on the bus every mile.
Right? I know. But look,
You're never
I
leaving.
when I was on the bus, I was so inspired by Stacy Tice's activism, Stephanie Landa, who is the founder of Freedom Grow, Joe Grumbine, who's the founder of the Human Solution International. Who else was on the bus? So many good people were on the bus. Like, I was so influenced. That is part of what shaped my whole activism ever since. So that's what the bus is to me. It's part of me.
And you are part of the bus.
Thank you.
I love that she says you're on the bus every day. I feel like I want to be on that bus every day. So cheers to everybody out there. Whatever your vice, whatever you have. I've got some kombucha tonight I'm having. And I'm going to have a dab of some, how about some lemon pie ho? So whatever you consume, load it up, load the bowls, get the joints lit. Have at it. Welcome everybody out there. There you go. Hey, whatever you enjoy. I just want to throw it out there, and I welcome everybody that's hanging out with us to chat tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And you guys are starting the show off strong. You know, I can't wait to hang out with you guys. Like what, on a weekly? Is that what we're talking about here?
Every 2 weeks.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Every 2 weeks, and we'll have different family members on, or when we can get a prisoner on themselves. We're going to see if we can get Crystal Munoz on. For people who are unaware of Crystal Munoz, she was serving, I believe, a 20-year prison sentence for cannabis.
Something like that,
yeah. And she was recently sent home when Trump did those pardons.
She was a mom. She's a mom. She gets to be united with her family. I saw a picture of her and her husband and her 2 kids, and it's really cute. I'm happy for her.
Oh, her family's ecstatic. Her sister found me on Instagram and reached out to me. I had painted one shirt that said "Free Crystal Munoz," and her sister found the hashtag, and just that one shirt like meant so much to them. And we got to talking about how excited the family was, and it's just beautiful to see people coming home. And I think we all agree no one should be behind bars in the first place over a plant. That's really what we're all about, making sure happens. Prohibition ends, and not this Prohibition 2.0, but really ending it and making sure no one's caged for cannabis ever again.
100%. I agree with you. And, you know, thank you for joining me, and cheers everyone tonight, because Carrie, you said that so well. Thank you.
Oh, thank
Cheers
you.
to everyone out there.
Dabs up. And that's a great example of just what one person can do, right? Just that one shirt said made such a difference.
Guys, I just want to also mention that Freedom Grow sent her $500 upon her after she was released to help with her whatever she could use it for, anything she wants. That's what we do with Freedom Grow. Not only do we load the prisoners' commissary, but we also do prison outreach. We send them things. We educate people about them, what can keep them out of jail, what can keep them in jail. That's all part of why we're even on the show today, is part of educating, to try to teach people what's going on out there. And we also give our prisoners money when they come out. And we all voted to send her $500. So, yay.
And can people make a donation to Freedom Grow if they wanted to, Kristen?
Yes, they can. Currently, I would say go to our website, but right now our website is being reconstructed. So if you wanted to make a donation, you could coordinate with one of us and we could tell you how to do that, like on the back end. But we are looking like for big donations. We got big plans. And so if we're looking for like people who own rec stores or cannabis businesses, you know, just to know that it is a tax write-off if you donate. And we've had some bigger donations in the past, and we need more. So we have to keep them in commissary, which is like last time, $5,000 to send 50 of them, $100. And we want to add more prisoners to our list. We want to have like hundreds on our list. So we need more and more money. So guys,
actually, I want to have 0 on your list, because then that means they're all free.
I know.
Amen.
That's what I'd really like to see.
Yes.
Oh.
I agree.
But man, that's amazing. You guys thinking of those prisoners in there. I can't imagine being jailed up. I honestly have never spent time in jail. I toured one and freaked out. I cannot imagine. I so feel for you because
I could tell you horror stories.
no, I don't want to know. Honestly, like a sad thing is I really want to be blind because I know I just wow. Like I
Sarah,
just
we need to have a show. We need to have a show, but I don't know, it'd be kind of terrifying where I could just tell you that some of the details of my dad's death, why he was dying in prison. It would kill you. Your heart it's so traumatic. I mean, you guys just hear, oh, my dad died in prison, but there's a whole story
oh,
behind
I can only imagine the
horrifying.
stories that you guys have heard and the stories you've lived, my girl. I mean, oh my gosh. Oh, I pray for everyone tonight on anybody on any level of that. And I'm so thankful you guys are willing to come on and spread this knowledge because I just think that the more that we talk about this and the more that we make it known, I think the better that these people have the opportunity to get out and get their word heard.
And we're very grateful that you're sharing your platform with us to help us spread this message. A lot of people are under the assumption that with more states legalizing both medical and recreational, that cannabis arrests are stopping in those areas. They're not. The last FBI report showed that more people are being arrested for cannabis than ever before. So it's really just Prohibition 2.0. And I've never been in jail or prison either for cannabis. None of my family ever has been. Feel very blessed on that part, especially like knowing Kristen's dad's story and knowing the story of Stacy's uncle. It's heartbreaking. It doesn't even cover it. It's just absolute madness that people would have to go through this. And I think all of us who benefit from the plant in one way or another, we kind of have a duty to make sure that we help put a stop to this. It could be any one of us at any given time. None of us are safe.
Wow, Carrie, that was so well said.
I
Wow.
agree. I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. I don't even know what to say after that other than like, wow. Thank you.
Well, I think we should talk since Stacy brought up a couple nonprofits like Freedom Grow and Mission Green and whatnot. Do you or Kristen want to talk a little bit more about those for people who aren't familiar with them?
I think we just lost Stacy. I think she just jumped off. So Kristen, go ahead.
Yeah, so she said a couple of them there. Mission Green is a nonprofit that Weldon Angelo, who was serving a life sentence for cannabis, who was granted clemency by Obama. He got out and started Mission Green, and his mission is to free all the prisoners, and he's got a big thing going on. We are in coordination trying to work with him here and there. There's also Can Do. Can Do stands for can do clemency. We can do it. We can do it. Clemency, can do. She fights for our prisoners. She makes clemency. She goes over the clemency applications, make sure they're all at the White House. She also not just focuses on cannabis prisoners, but it's also a focus on women, nonviolent women prisoners, as well as other nonviolent men prisoners, but she puts focus on women along with cannabis prisoners. So her website is cando.com. I think it might be cando.org, but a lot of prisoners have been released under her watch. She has a magic touch. She's an amazing person. In fact, we can have her on the show sometime as well in the future. She's great. I also want to say there's Parents for Pot. Oh my gosh, they are the greatest. They're a group of people who are parents, and they help other people's kids other people in their families who have children who are in the middle of prohibition, whether it be the plant prisoners' kids or this mom who is this big activist, and she had all this trauma to her family, because I don't want to name names or anything, but they help a lot of kids who are in the middle of prohibition. So they are amazing. They also, at Christmas time, they send a lot of families money who have people in prison or kids in prohibition to help their kids with Christmas. Freedom Grow does it. We only right now are helping 4 or 5 families each year, but they help mass more families. So Parents for Pot is amazing. Nikki Martin founded it. If you guys don't know who he is, he's kind of a famous in the cannabis industry. So he has a Fuck Mickey campaign is what it's called. But those are a few that I could think of right now. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I'm just thinking of a couple off the top of my head. There's also the Human Solution International, which I did used to be the vice president of them. I love them. They're great. They do a lot of court support, prison outreach. They are also a 501c3. They do a lot of what Freedom Grow does, except for with court support. And their members are amazing as well. And who else do we have?
We
You guys
also
think-
have we have the International Women's Cannabis Coalition, which we're kind of in a period right now where a lot of us in the organization are going through a lot of things. So we're kind of at a slow point, but we are active in keeping our groups posted and updated on Facebook. And hopefully we'll all get to a good spot soon here where we can start doing some amazing things again.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Well, you guys don't be so hard on yourself. You guys are all women and have real lives and are working in jobs and have families and have other things. So you guys are already dedicating your off and your Harvey time to these things. So like, don't think you guys aren't doing enough. A lot of you are doing way beyond most. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we are, all of us are all volunteers. We believe it's our, part of our life's work to do this.
So you guys, I want to say one more thing. So Freedom Grow, we went from this like a couple volunteers to now we've got 24. We are asking for more volunteers. We're currently trying to organize them. Was what Freedom Grow is kind of restructuring itself in a lot of ways, and we're growing, and we're getting a lot of people involved. And right now we're kind of backed up. We're trying to get all of our volunteers organized. In the meantime, if anybody wants to volunteer for Freedom Grow, we've got all kinds of different committees we're forming. We're forming, prison outreach committee. We're forming a prison outreach, education committee, an arts committee, a cannabis committee. Like there's all kinds of committees you can volunteer. Website, you can help with our website. So much you can volunteer for to help the prisoners. If you want to get involved, send me a message, Stacy a message. Carry a message, and we can get you a link that you could fill out a volunteer form, and when we get to it, which will be soon. We've got a volunteer coordinator helping us now, so we're going to go through all of our applications and place people where they can help. So
And I just like to add that, I did do a little poem for the Valentine's newsletter.
yes, you did.
And I got responses from Lance Glore and from Craig Cecil, and these messages mean so much to these guys. I know sometimes it can be hard for people to know like what to write or what not. And really anything you write, any positive words you have to say, anything to let them know that we're out here and we care, it touches their hearts and they really do appreciate it. So I really do encourage everyone to try to come up with something, and we'll include it in the newsletter and help make the Prisoners' Day.
Too bad we can't mail in a whole bunch of joints.
I know I would be doing it. If I could, I would be doing it.
You know what, Tara? You put that in a quote and say, you put that in a quote, and I'll put that in our newsletter, and we can mail it to you. They'll get a little piece of our radio show here.
Oh my God. I don't care. You can share any part of this. If we want to put this on a podcast, you guys want to record any part of this show, I don't care. This is for anybody to use. It's for getting the information out there. That's what I'm here for.
Sweet, sweet.
So Stacy, you joined us back in. How are you doing? You got any more to share with us?
Yeah, I didn't make it upstairs like fast enough, so my phone died.
That's okay.
Oh no.
So apologies, but that's okay because I'll watch this later and find out what I missed, and it will be fun. But yeah, so just you guys talking, I just wanted to remind everybody that like that's why I call the Cannabis our bus. Like if anybody ever hears me talking about it, I'm always like, our bus, because it is all of our buses, you know, like it is our bus. It belongs to all of us. And I'm just, you know, been able to drive her around, you know, like I'm just the driver of the bus and throwing the truth out and sharing everybody with, you know, like that's why like I know everybody is on the bus, because it's everybody's stories that I'm able to share all across the country when I'm wrapping people's minds around the truth and why they should care.
Do you guys know what the driver of the bus? Do you guys know what the driver of the bus is planning on doing? She's planning on having a live painter drive around with her on the bus and paint a mural on the outside of the bus that's going to consist of people who have died for the plant. And it's going to be really touching just to even drive by the bus on the freeway and see all the amazing things that Stacy has planned to put on the outside of the bus.
Yeah, so that's a side project that we're working on, and I'm glad you brought that up, Kristen.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how cool the bus is. There's a lot of other people besides my dad, her uncle, that have died over this plant, and some of them have been really traumatic deaths. And Stacy wants to paint that picture on her bus.
Well, yeah, and there's been times like, and also a lot of the activists that have dedicated their lives before us. You know, all of us, we wouldn't know what we know now and be where we are now in anything if it hadn't been for like people like Gatewood Galbraith and Jack Hare, you know, like people like my uncle, like that were shouting the truth about the plan on every level and dedicating their lives about, you know, to sharing the plant way before when it was before it was cool to do so. Like it wasn't necessarily that cool to do so when we were on the bus together. Like, like
hey, dude,
lots
back when
changed
I
for
was
years.
it was all back when I was fooled by the DARE program, man.
Yep.
That's when it was.
Yeah, so like, I mean, even as recent as when me and Kristen were traveling together, like, you know, we were like whoa, there's a cannabis telling the truth on the road. Like, we've come so far so fast, like just the last 10 years. But yeah, and there's been, you know, unless you're on the bus, like there, you know, I am probably crazy, but you understand my crazy more when you are on the bus, because there has been times that I've been just like driving the bus and I'm like, Gatewood's driving the bus today. Like I could just feel it. And I know that Gatewood Galbraith is like driving the bus. And then it is so crazy, like the stories that I could tell that, you know, that would give you chills on why I would know that Gatewood was driving the bus, you know, like, and everybody got to witness, you know, like, and just neat things like that. Like I've known when Jack, you know, his energy is real strong on the bus. I know when my uncle's energy is really strong on the bus. My Aunt Mary Jane, my cousin's mom, she was grazed in the head with a bullet when they killed my uncle, and she rode on the bus with us for a while for our December tour. We were actually going to the Human Solutions farm, Kristen. That's like when we first like met the Grumbines and like went to Willow Creek for the very first time.
I remember.
Yeah, Mary Jane was on the bus.
You came in the living room with your sleeping bags.
So yeah, so Joe was in jail, and we had been invited to the Emerald Cup in Northern California.
I know the Emerald Cup. I got to go this year. Oh,
yeah,
so much fun. Yes. So tell me about it.
Okay, so the Emerald Cup folks had like saw our travels when I had gone and picked up the bus, you know, originally in North Carolina. So they reached out, inviting us to the Emerald Cup. Well, at the same time all that was happening, Joe Grumbine went to jail. And so then that was like, oh, well, then it's meant to be. We're supposed to go to the Emerald Cup, and then we'll tour down and land at the Grumbine farm and help all the women on the farm. That's got to be a lot of work without Joe. Like, so we'll land there for Christmas and at least like let them have, like, we'll do all the work and just let them have Christmas together. Well, by the time that we got to, well, that's kind of like part of the story. So while we're on the way to LA, my aunt had a really like precious moment with her deceased daughter. Like she felt her on the bus, and it was like like a wild, experience to just like watch her. It was beautiful, but to watch her out, on the back of the bus having like this spiritual moment with her daughter where she could just like really feel her. And then it ended and Mary Jane like cried, we made a stop. She was crying. She was explaining what she was going through with Scarlett, was her daughter's name. And all why, like it was just like beautiful. Well, I don't know. Jake would have to correct me if it was like more than 5 minutes. But all of a sudden he's like, oh, hey, so New Jersey Weed Man was reaching out because he saw that we were going to be going through LA, and he had talked to the Cottonmouth Kings. Yay. And they were all excited and asked us to be their VIP bus for their concert for Christmas Eve or whatever, or the day before Christmas Eve. So the significance of that is that Scarlett's favorite band was Cottonmouth Kings. Like in Kentucky, she traveled to North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, like when she was alive, everywhere that Cottonmouth Kings went, she went as a teenager. So it was like very significant after like witnessing that experience, like Mary Jane feeling her daughter so heavy on the bus, that we were invited to be backstage VIP smoke lounge for the Cottonmouth Kings and go to their show. And after that, while Mary Jane was still alive, we got to go to a few more of their shows because we all became friends.
I love your stories, Stacy.
Sorry, I was trying to wrap it up. Like I was like,
You guys know I'm Stacy's biggest cheerleader.
Like I didn't mean to start along. I was like, oh, sorry guys, I didn't realize this story was going to be as long as.
No, you have great stories.
Your story. Yeah, no. Your story was totally cute, and your voice. I could listen to you tell a story all day. I have to say. I just love it. I love the way you tell stories. So please don't think you're taking too much time and rush on this. But I do have to say, Kristen and Carrie did both say they might have to duck out early. So I'm leaving them up. If you guys want to duck out early, you can. Stacy, we can stay here and hang out all night. I don't care.
You guys, my mom's watching the baby. She had the baby.
Yes, she is. Okay.
I'm supposed to have her right now. We're waiting for my daughter, and I told my mom she had her all night and most of the day because I had a bunch of stuff to do. And I was like, let me do the show, then I'll get the baby. And then, so I got to get in there to the baby.
Absolutely. I understand. So we will see you next week. Or when's our next show? Next week?
So we should schedule that. We need to ask. Let's try. What do you think? Do you want to do one 2 weeks from today, or
totally up to you guys? We can plan it off air. We can do it. We can plan it off air, but and I'll let everybody know. But okay, definitely.
How about this?
We'll post the date when we decide after this video underneath. How's that?
We'll reach out to the prisoners and their families, and we'll find a date and a time, either next Sunday at the same time or the Sunday after that at the same time.
Whatever works for them, because obviously we've got to put it out to them first to make sure it works. So yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right, you guys. I love you.
Thanks, Kristen.
I love you, Kristen.
Thank you for being here.
Have a great night.
Bye, Carrie.
Bye.
Thanks for organizing all of us together.
Oh, thank you for all your help. I couldn't do it without you guys. And I can't wait until we get our show rolling. It's going to be awesome.
I agree. I agree. Bye, DJ Trades.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye, girl. All right, Carrie, it's up to you, girl. If you need to dip out, it's totally up to you. I love having you here.
I should get going.
Okay.
It's getting kind of late, got school, and my son's got a project he needs to finish up.
Okay, I totally understand. And you work all day. So, girl, you have a big, busy job. So, hey,
yeah.
have a fantastic day tomorrow, and we can chat later. And I feel that Stacy has another story she wants to tell us.
Oh, Stacy will have amazing stories to tell you.
No.
She'll keep you entertained all night.
Okay, well, we'll let her tell us a few more stories to keep us entertained. I can take a few more dabs, and we will talk to you after. Thanks, Carrie.
All right, sounds good. You guys have fun. Thank you. Bye, Stacy. Bye, DK.
Bye, sweetie.
Cheers.
Love
Nice to
you.
see you again.
Love you guys too.
Mwah.
Bye.
Well, your friend has been awfully quiet, Tara.
I know.
I'm just sitting and absorbing it all in. That's all good. I'm watching chat. Thanks for sharing that link.
So let's just feedback from your friend, because he's just meeting us all for the first time and joining us, and we haven't heard him say much.
Been holding down the dab side of the conversation. No, it's been great. And just like myself being down in BC and Canada, I'm just more new to all this from the other side there. So it's just, really eye-opening. I mean, we have a whole bunch of the same sort of stuff going on everywhere across the planet, right? And it's just it's really horrible.
Just up in BC. Just up in BC, they were having all these busts. I was watching Johnny B on the pot news is the thing. Yeah. So yeah, they still have arrests going on up there, even though it's federally legal, right?
Oh yeah, it's completely ridiculous and unprecedented. You don't know when it's going to happen or who or what. It's just randomized, and it's just same thing. It's just ruining people's lives and just throwing big sticks into the game when they're just, most of these people are just trying to get by and help others and do what they can and just, do what they think is right. So it's great to have people like yourselves getting the message out and, just have such powerful backstories, and it makes it easy to just kind of sit here quietly and absorb it all in.
So even with federal legalization in Canada, you would say the war on cannabis is still going strong in Canada?
Stronger, almost. It's so backwards, the policies they've laid out, and it's just, it pretty well punishes the people that truly need it medicinally. And yeah, it's a gong show in the least.
So are there people in prison for pot in Canada?
Oh yeah, and it's the same thing. It's just
the ridiculous sentences that we have here. There are people spending life sentences in pot in Canada.
Oh yeah, and it's the same thing. There's the people who have imprisoned these people that are now profiting in the cannabis game, which I'm all for everyone promoting this and getting it out there. But we really need to take a step back and think about what we've done here and free the people that whose lives have been completely destroyed before the people who destroyed said lives because it was what they were supposed to do, get free. Because it's outrageous, right? Especially if you're a family member or someone that was super close to someone and you're seeing this, wow.
Yeah. And so I hear, I've traveled all over, and I hear all your guys' stories, and I can't believe what's going on in all our other states. And then I talk to all my friends up in Canada, and they have all this stuff going on. And, I just don't get it. I'm so confused by all this legalization. It's all become about money. And I don't know. It's just sad because obviously the medical patients are the ones that are getting left out.
Yep, that's who's getting stiffed. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially here, they, with legislation, they changed the rules. So you have 10 milligrams per edible per package. So it's if you have a case of drinks that comes together, there can only be 10 spread out through however many there are. And it's just what about the patients that need upwards of 1,000 milligrams every single day, be it CBD, THC, full spectrum? It's just, when people hear these big numbers and think it's all, they try to relate it to something where the potency makes, they start correlating it to just oh, you just need a drug because you want it that much stronger, even for the concentrates. It's like, well, no, I just need this specific
The
type of
problem
medicine
is
to
it
get what I
comes
need for
back
relief.
to the uneducated people making decisions and laws to people that don't, for people that need it, and they don't understand it to begin with. That, I mean, if that's the problem, they're just uneducated people writing these laws. And until we get out there and get more active, I guess maybe it's our own fault. I guess, I don't know. Put it out there. What do you think, Stacy?
Oh, yeah, everything you said is correct. And that's why I get excited about the bus getting going again.
Yeah, getting that education out there and getting and connecting around the globe. I mean,
We're growing the buses this year. Like there's been some magic that's happening. So there's a couple other buses getting ready to travel with me.
awesome.
And that's what I like about
So do you want to tell us like what you're like, are you telling anybody like what your routes are, or is that still to come, or
well,
who knows,
that is getting
or...
like there's a lot of like work that gets, that has to go into making the routes and stuff.
Yeah,
And
there's gotta be
communication with
planning
people.
stuff and all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's some buses getting ready, but my excitement with buses and and I'm glad that you guys are on talking about Canada and that it's federally legal and there's still a lot of drug work
they're still having
going
problems.
on.
So what, I mean, we're
Because
hoping that it's going to be federally legal here. Is it really going to change? Look at poor Canada. Look at what DK's living, he's living proof. We can talk to them. We know what's going on.
yeah, so it's like very wild. And that's why I was like very interested and my mind was going like, yeah, that's really wild that even after federal legalization, people can bitch about the prices or where it's coming from or the testing or whatever. Fine, give us those bitches. But no, like federal legalization has got to come with no more people going to prison for pot and everyone being released for pot. And those records, I mean, people are homeless because they have felonies for bags of weed on their freaking records, a lot of people don't know the reality of the thing, and all these events that, like I rally for a lot of the events like Hash Bash that is always the first Saturday of every April. Like clockwork, Hash Bash in Michigan. Seattle Hemp Fest, like clockwork, the third weekend of August.
The 420 event in Vancouver, BC.
Oh, yay. The 420,
yeah.
I mean, I guess things have finally changed.
Yeah.
I mean, for many years, it was the Denver 420 rally at the Capitol in Denver. There was in the Great Atlanta Pot Festival in Atlanta, Georgia. Like, there were the smoking in DC. But yeah, you get my point. Like,
yeah.
I rally while I'm on the road, like educating people about these things, like where all these events are, because that's what I saw going to events, right in the early days of my activism, that you can have events all day long and you see, oh, yay, it becomes a family reunion. Like it's the same people over and over again, over and over again. And yeah, like those people bring a couple friends and bring a couple friends and it grows.
And it gets bigger and bigger. I see
So
that at the Emerald Cup, man. I saw that just at the Emerald Cup. It was crazy. And now the regenerative conferences that I've been to. So I see what you're talking about, how this works.
Yeah, but my question, like, oh my gosh, if we have all this truth and science and whatever, what the heck's taken so long? Well, then I got blessed with the bus, and it's like a rally on wheels. So the more buses we have out there, it's like a rally on wheels as far as like going to the gas stations and going to the rest stops. It's a magnet. People come to you for information that might not typically care to go to a cannabis event.
Yeah, a
You
local
know,
rally.
yeah, so then you're just like you're educating them, and then you're letting them know the closest spot that they can go to, like, hear people talk about cannabis and where the activists are, the conferences that um there's a lot. I love all the educational conferences across the map now. Like, that
I
is
know, I have
like,
so much fun going to all of them. I just love seeing everybody. It's
well,
really
yeah,
like I'm so full of like education. Like I tape and I record most of these for everybody to watch. And I have so many that I need to download and get up on here for everybody out there. I've got lots coming, by the way. So if you haven't hit that bell, you better, because I've got some really good girl ones coming up with the Dem Pure folks and all kinds of stuff happening. So yeah, so
that's exciting.
wow, I love all you guys and so willing to share all this information. It's so amazing, all the people that I'm meeting, and getting out there on the road is so key. 100%, Stacy.
Well, and I've loved it. Like, in the beginning, like I said, there's a handful of places. Well, now there's things all across the map that are consistent. Like, when people ask me where the places are, like, there's an
And that's
event
why I'm
so
here
much
right
closer
now, and that's
all the
why
time,
you're
so much
that,
closer.
well, that's why we're here right now, is because of HempFest. That's what all started it. What you were just saying, HempFest started it for me, and that's how I met Carrie, and this is how we got here. So just one of those things you were saying. This is the way to start. Absolutely.
HempFest started the Cannabis.
Yeah,
Kind of.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, awesome. Thanks for all the amazing stories tonight, Stacy. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or DK?
I think we're good for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, awesome. Hang out here with us, Stacy, though, before you jump off. I want to talk a little bit before we jump off air. But I
Okay.
think we're gonna call it a night. DK, what do you think?
Yeah, no, that's been great. It was just awesome to absorb, and I hope everyone feels the same way through chat. Anyone else that watches this, because like that was amazing. I can't wait for the next one. Thank you so much. Your stories are amazing.
Yeah, welcome to our show.
Yes.
Yeah, welcome. And the more the merrier. I'm putting it out there to more people that want to join the panel. It's open panel. I mean, I told you I want to get to know the cannabis community. It's getting out there just like we're doing, getting out on the Cannabis. I can't wait to see it, and making this movement happen. It's not going to happen by just sitting here getting high. Let's get out there and actually make it happen. So thanks for joining us, everybody, tonight. And thanks everyone that throws the thumbs up and that subscribes, that goes out, supports everybody on Instagram, all these social media websites, whatever you do, go follow everybody, show some love tonight. And thanks. We'll see you next time.
Thank you,
Peace and love.
Tara.
Peace and love.